Yo, what's good, people? We back. Had to come through, man, because with this Jonathan Majors story, right? There's a lot to break down. There's a lot to break down. I'm going to get to the interview because the interview there was a lot of things were sent across. You know what I'm saying? That I want to break down, but I want to break down this whole shit about Coretta Scott King that they keep trying to push with this story. I'm gonna get to this whole shit. What's really going on? Right? You know, when it comes to Malcolm X and when it comes to Martin Luther King, the difference is more than one side, and you can, depending on which way you go, you could be Malcolm or you could be Martin, as far as your principles. So Martin Luther King, if it was put in today's time, Martin Luther King would be in Hollywood and Malcolm X would be independent. That's the way that it would go if it was put in today's times. But when you know a little bit of the history, right? I support Martin Luther King because once the truth got revealed to him, he realized which side he's actually on, or what he actually stands for, who he actually is, and realized that people around him did not have his best interest at all, but they were playing them for a long time. And I'm like, I don't care what about Martin Luther King, I'm going to support him. That's why Martin Luther King I support, right? That's why I'm going to talk about. I'm gonna do the episode again about the mountaintop episode and everything like that. I'm gonna explain a lot of things, but the SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Council, that was like the actual organization of the civil rights movement. There wasn't a movement called civil rights. The SCLC was the actual organization, and they operated close. Like, if you would put it in today's time, they operated sort of like Black Lives Matter, right? And you see the way Black Lives Matter is today, the way that it is put into our community, our society. There are some of us who support Black Lives Matter, and there are some of us who don't support Black Lives Matter. That's the difference between Malcolm and Martin. When they say it. Because at one of those retreats, I believe it was in Boston, because Martin Luther King attended the Boston University. It wasn't Boston College. It was the University of Boston. That was one of the schools that Martin Luther King attended, right? So I believe that retreat happened up there. If I'm forgive me if any of the actual factuals about locations or whatever and times are not matching up to the actual story, because that part I will put into the future Martin Luther King episodes, and going forward. But it was a big story back then. About Martin Luther King being filmed running naked down a hallway in a hotel chasing a white woman. That was a major story. No pun intended. It was a major story about him chasing a white woman down a hotel naked. She was a prostitute. He said, "Bitch, come back." Funny, right? Nah, pause. So he got caught chasing the white woman and everything like that, right? So he was married to Coretta Scott King at the time. He had a family when this story broke. Coretta Scott King was, the woman who held it together as a black woman, knowing that her family is first, playing the traditional role in which they are trying to destroy nowadays. She played the traditional role of a woman, kept the family together, and that scandal did not destroy her family. So when you keep hearing this in the Jonathan Majors story, I need you to be like more like Coretta Scott King. I need you to be like Coretta Scott King. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to juxtapose him with Martin Luther King. No, beloved. Martin Luther King would not be in Marvel movies. That's what they wanted him. That's what they would have done to Martin Luther King before the truth got revealed to him. Before the truth got revealed to him, the little white boys and little white girls, and the "I Have a Dream" speech and all that. That was a Marvel movie. That was a Marvel movie. That was a Disney movie. You get what I'm saying? But once the truth got revealed, he's on stars. He's on the internet now. When once the truth got revealed, you get what I'm saying? I'm putting it to you like this: how the actual factuals of the story are being put out. So when you keep hearing this thing about Jonathan Majors and Coretta Scott King, basically is Coretta Scott King, during the scandal of chasing a white woman, she was the one that kept the family together and kept it quiet, and then allowed him to do what allowed him to be him, so that she could build the legacy, build Wooty Woo, so that can still be that. You know what I'm saying? So Martin Luther King can still be Martin Luther King. No, he was Martin Luther King then. Once the truth got revealed, then he's Martin Luther King. You get what I'm saying? This is what our icons are reduced to in their eyes. Something that can be played with. And I'm not saying it's being played with because Jonathan Majors going through the situation with a white broad. You should have known better being a movie star with a white broad. She's chasing you and slapping you and doing all this shit to you. Wooty woo. But, you're black. You're a black man. You get what I'm saying? Now, the way that they're trying to clean it up is you be Martin Luther King. Well, are you going to be, in order to be Martin then, you got to be Martin now. You get what I'm saying? It don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. Because you saw what happened in Boston. Was that last year when they built that statue of Martin Luther King that looked like a sex store statue? You know what I'm saying? The actual Martin Luther King gets totally disrespected. On my other Young Veterans podcast channel, I do a lot of talking about Martin Luther King and the plot to kill King, the actual factuals of the story. But that story about him chasing a white woman being filmed, being on camera, chasing a white woman down the hallway, naked, is almost like how you see Jonathan Majors. They say that he's chasing a white woman, but the white woman's chasing him. You know what I'm saying? The white woman's chasing him, but he's on camera. That's what matters. They caught you. And my thing is, Jonathan Majors may not even know this is what they're doing. He probably don't even know. You know what I'm saying? He probably don't even know that, oh, we caught Martin Luther King. We caught Martin Luther King running down the hallway naked with a white broad. Now you got caught up with a white broad. So something's going on here. You know what I'm saying? We could do something with this. He probably don't even know. Probably just know it's something. But this is what happens when they kill you, when they murder you. When they murder you, your story is now up for sale. And the thing about it is, the way that it plays out, looking for Coretta Scott King. Coretta Scott King, what I said the other day when I'm bringing up Coretta Scott King, that post I put up on my Instagram about Coretta Scott King, Byron Allen said it, you know what I'm saying? The quote from Coretta Scott King was, the biggest weapon that we have as a people is the truth. That's Coretta Scott King. So if you want a woman to be like Coretta Scott King, she got to be a rider. She got to be really, really be a rider. She can't just be down to cover up sex scandals. You know. But I'm gonna go and get out of here on this one. I'm gonna be back tomorrow on the Jonathan Majors story when I break down more of the interview. When I break down the actual interview. Because there was a lot of things being thrown at us. But I'm gonna go and get out of here. We out.